So Roy, a 3-0 defeat at the hands of Darwin. Can you just give me your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I mean, probably. I think to be fair, Luke, the game sums up our season, doesn't it? First half, especially first half hour, I thought we were excellent, created some really good chances. Didn't take our chances, and if you don't take your chances in games, then you're not going to win football matches, and that's been the story of our season. I don't think we've been clinical in both boxes at times, and obviously we've got the chance to be 1, maybe 2 up, and then they hit us on the break and they score the crucial one, go 1-0 up. First shot they'd really had on target, and then we give a sloppy penalty away. And from that, obviously Brad's made a great save, but equally I think what happens with us, if we get off to a good start and we score first, we usually do quite well, but the Achilles heel for us has been when something goes against us, and now we've bounced back, and we've not bounced back. And I think if you look at the second half as well, the second half almost had like a pre-season feel to it, didn't it? With neither side really having anything to play for, as other results have panned out.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we just kept on making mistake after mistake, but didn't help us at all. Showing with the 2 penalties.
No, I mean, obviously, the first penalty that we've conceded, I think is a foul on Lloyd in the build-up anyway, and I said that to the referee at half-time. Should have been a free kick to us, but then he's not giving it, and we've given away a cheap penalty. The second one, I'm not really sure that what Jacob Holgate can do to get out of the way of that ball, to be honest, because it's rifling him straight down his face. He's put his hands up to protect his face. Natural reaction, but it's one of those things. At that point when the second penalty went in, the game had already gone. Probably if you talk about penalties, maybe we've been a little bit too honest ourselves, because I think if Maka goes down in the box at 2-0, he's going to give a penalty for that, but Maka's probably paid the price for being too honest.
Yeah, definitely. Also on the team, I don't really personally, I don't really feel like there was like any outstanding players. They were all just kind of there.
Yeah, no, I don't think there was any outstanding performances by anybody. Like I said, it certainly had an end of season feel to it today. We certainly had nothing to play for. We were down to the bare bones. We could only, whilst we named 4 on the bench, we only had 3 fit subs because Harvey was on the bench, but he was nowhere near fit, and he was never going to start today or even be in a position to come off the bench. So we were down to the bare bones. Obviously we had quite a few missing from last Saturday's game at Bay Cup, so we had to reshuffle a few things round, and as a manager that's disappointing, because obviously we've done really well against Bay Cup and you wanted to keep that little bit of continuity for the last couple of games, but it wasn't to be. We've had to mix and match, and probably next week for the Maghull game we're going to have to mix and match again. But what I must say is a big thank you to all the supporters, the volunteers and everyone that's been with the club this season and stuck with us, and for all the work they've done, and it's massively appreciated by everyone in that dressing room. It's been a tough season. It's a tough season in this league generally. It's an unforgiving league. There's not a lot between the teams, and like I said, we're probably over the course of the season we've been paid to pay the price for not being clinical enough in both boxes. But like I say, a huge thank you to the supporters and all the volunteers and everyone that's worked tirelessly behind the scenes, because it's massively appreciated by the players and all the staff.
Yeah, definitely every person this season, even at the highest level or at the lowest level, have put it in for the club, haven't they?
Of course they have, and all the volunteers and the supporters, do what they do because they love the club, and they want the club to progress. Like I said, it's a tough league, is this league, and a lot of games, and there's a lot of commitment from all the volunteers, everyone, like you say, from top to bottom, Luke. So it's a massive thank you from me personally as well for all the work that's gone in this season. And we've got one more game to go now, then we have a little bit of a break, and then we'll try and rebuild, and we go again for next season.
Yeah, definitely. But the thing is though, Roy, every season is very slowly starting to feel in, like I said, where being in this league for, I believe, the past 7 years now.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at some of the teams that are in this league, teams that have been in it for a long time, you've got to look and think that football's changing as well, Luke. There's a lot of money being spent even down at this level as well. So on the one side of it, you can look and it's been a disappointing season for us. We'd hope to do a little bit better and push on. Had a lot of changes with the rebuild of the side this season. But equally, there's some teams spending huge amounts of money in terms of player budgets. You know, and it's very difficult for us to compete with that. And you look at where Stevenage have come from as a club, you know, to be even competing sometimes at this level is success for us. But yeah, you know, obviously we want to kick on and go forward. But you know, we've just got to get this season out of the way with Maghull, and then look to regroup and see where we go for next season. But there's a lot of teams been in this league a lot longer than us and haven't managed to get out of it as well.
Yeah, no, definitely right. But also ending on Maghull. I've kind of got it's two questions for you. I'll start with one. What do you expect on into that game?
Well, we know it's going to be another tough game. Maghull have just gone down 2-1 to Exton Villa today, which they'll have put up a really good fight. You know, they'll want to finish off their home form, you know, with a win as well. We want to finish the season off strongly. You know, we wanted to finish the home season off with a win today. Unfortunately, that hasn't happened, but we'll prepare as normal on Tuesday. Hopefully we'll get some bodies back for next week as well, and we can name a full contingent. But we'll be doing all we can to finish the season in style. But it's going to be another tough game. Every game in this league's tough.
Yeah. And also to end it now, I saw you and Jacob talking with the lads at the very end after the game. Does that have anything else leading into midweek, and then of course the final game of the season?
No, we just said to the players when we pulled them in there, it was important for them to acknowledge the supporters and all the volunteers and to make sure that they did that, which, you know, of course they did. And just to say, you know, a couple of things about where we felt we'd gone wrong today, and you know, obviously what we needed to do Tuesday night, we need to be all back down working hard, one more training session for us, and then we go with one big push against Maghull. But you know, they're all in it together. They're a good set of lads. Can't knock their efforts and commitments this season. You know, we maybe just haven't had that little bit of quality at times when we've needed it, but you know, that's football.
Thanks for your time, Roy.
Yeah, cheers, Luke.